Close to 18 years after the attack on the World Trade Center in New York City, a piece of that building now has a home in downtown Springfield. I'm Dave Matson. Good to have you with us on this Wednesday night. Western Mass News reporter James Villalobos joining us live from Riverfront Park with a look back at tonight's dedication ceremony. James.
Well, Dave, you can see behind me is that beam. And if we turn the camera, there are two lights shining on it, and it casts a silhouette of the Twin Towers. Tonight's ceremony was all to honor the first responders who gave their lives trying to save the lives of the people inside the World Trade Center towers. Hundreds made their way to the newly renovated Riverfront Park to honor the lives lost in the September 11 terrorist attacks. Among those in attendance was Brad Blakeman, former advisor to President George W. Bush.
It's part of the remembrance of the heroes, the first responders who responded and gave their lives for our country.
Brad was inside the White House on 9/11, but the day hit close to home for him. His nephew, Thomas Jurgens, was a New York court officer who was inside one of the towers.
To this day, the only thing they found was his badge and his gun, and he was told to leave the South Tower. His last transmission in his radio was, "I cannot leave, people need my help."
Thomas Jurgens' name is just one of the 498 first responders killed on 9/11, etched in the wall that stands behind a 9.5-foot beam from the World Trade Center. President Bush was reading to a group of Florida school children. His chief of staff, Andrew Card, told him of the attack that September morning. He shared with the audience in Springfield what the historic day was like.
He did nothing to introduce fear to those second graders. He did nothing to demonstrate fear to the terrorists that would have celebrated around the world. And instead, he thought about his job.
Card tells Western Mass News that his mission is to make sure this country never forgets the sacrifices of first responders that day.
Time erodes people's memories. I feel like it's my job to be a conscience. So I like reminding people that we made a promise. I also know that a lot of people weren't born when 9/11 happened now, and they're entering college, just getting out of high school. And I want to make sure they understand the meaning of the day and what it did to our country.
If you couldn't make it to Riverfront Park tonight, you can watch the entire ceremony on our Facebook page. Riverfront Park is actually now open, and you can come and see the memorial for yourself. I'm live in Springfield. James Villalobos, Western Mass News.